Hi everyone, and welcome to our Startup Gateway YouTube series. Today we're featuring Milad Parsa, an inspiring founder from Canada's startup visa community who turned an idea into a thriving business here in Canada. Thank you for joining us today. Could you start by introducing yourself and your startup? What do you do and what is your company all about?
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. I'm Milad. I founded the company Runaso, um, that which is in specialty vehicle industry. We help service providers to provide their services regardless of location, whenever and wherever they want. For example, we build mobile clinics for doctors to provide healthcare services to people's doorsteps.
That's very interesting. That's a really unique idea, I would say. Okay, let's go back a bit before the startup journey. Can you tell us a bit about your background before coming to Canada? What were you doing in terms of work, business, or studies? What were you guys doing?
Sure. I have a background in mechanical engineer, specifically for vehicle designing, and out of that, we've established our own company in Iran to provide a similar product and solutions. And we had our company in Iran, and after a while, we decided to come to Canada to establish a global company.
That's amazing. So how did the idea of your startup first come about? Was there a specific moment that sparked it? Can you talk about it a little?
Yeah. In 2017, we had a disaster. A um, fire took lives of 16 innocent firefighters. We get together to solve these type of problems because we knew that the reason that we lost those innocent people was the lack of mobility. So we got together and we make this company to provide mobile solutions to with the increasing the of mobility to solve existing problems.
That's very interesting. And were you, how did you find the team that you're working with currently? Do they have similar backgrounds as you, or um, how did that happen, basically?
I have a great group. We are intimate friends from we are childhood friends, and we knew that we have our own capabilities. We have our resources, and we knew that we would be a great team to work together. And we proved it right in a while. And we know nuts and bolts of this industry. My colleague Ramin is expertise in electrical part. I'm the mechanical part, and my colleague Amin is the expert about the operation and the other manufacturing part of the company.
That's great that you have such a strong team within your friends and you were able to create
Yeah.
this startup. That's really interesting. So, why did you guys decide to build your startup in Canada rather than your home country?
Um, we've found out that there are lots of opportunities. There are lots of gaps that we can fill in this industry in around the world, and we couldn't do signing and closing contracts in our country, and we found we were looking for solution for this type of stuff. So we came up with that idea that we should establish a company, a global company that we can talk with people and sign contracts to solve their problems.
Yeah, Canada honestly would be a great place for that because there are so many different people from different countries that are in Canada, and it's like provides you a good
Yep.
place for connecting with a huge group of people. So that's really great.
Yep.
So, how did you hear about the startup visa program?
Um, we had a community of friends that they were in Canada, and they suggested that you would be applicable to you would be eligible to submit these kind of program to get access to Canadian market and Canadian resources to establish a company. And based on their suggestion, we look into that, and we started our journey.
Okay, so you had friends who had already came to Canada through the startup visa program, and they were the ones that suggested the idea to you, the idea of coming to Canada.
Yeah, they were not in that particular program. They were familiar with this particular program. Yep.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, it's really good to hear from the people who have experienced these stuff to make the decision. That's exactly why we're recording these videos, because we have so many clients who are thinking about coming to Canada and starting their business, but there is always like things that they want to consider. They want to hear other stories. So this is really going to help them at least answer some of their questions. Thank you. This is really good. And so walk us through your startup visa journey. What was the first idea, from the first idea to getting approval? Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah, sure. Whenever we decided to go this pathway, we started to do our homework, and we went over every aspect of doing this type of stuff. And the main priority went to that pathway, that we should choose the best, because we submitted our request through incubators. We look into the list of incubators, and we chose 5 or 6 of them. So we started to reaching out to pitching them and the other stuff, and then we got approval from 3 of them. I guess it was 3 or 2 or 3 3 of them, and we chose the best out of them that we believe that they were the best out of them.
That's perfect. So you were happy with your experience with the incubator.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what kind of services they provide you, or what was your experience with them?
Yeah, they're great. I love them. They support us in an extensive way, and whenever we have a need, the first place that we go is to go to their location and ask our questions. For example, they provided lots of resources, local resources. We are in Hamilton. Local resources. They provided an office free of charge for us. That's great. And whenever we want to we want any consultation from experts, they would provide that right away, and this type of stuff. They're great.
That's perfect. It's really good to hear that you were supported this way. That's exactly what other people want to hear, basically. So I want to say that, like, when it comes to presenting, it is really difficult for me to present an idea to someone or to a group of people, and it becomes more stressful when it's such an important matter. So I was gonna ask, how was your pitch session? Did you feel it was difficult? What helped you succeed and stand out?
I should say that it was not that hard for us, because we've been in business for such a long time, and we knew that at the end of the day, we should sell an idea to a incubator. We knew that it is not that hard for us to do that in those pitching ideas, and because it was natural, it was intuitive. We have done that easily, but I know that it is a little bit overwhelming for people. especially those people that want to do their businesses from scratch. That would be a hard job to get it done. But whenever you do it in an organic way, it would be more easy, I should say, more convenient to do so. It is not
Yeah.
that hard.
Yes, absolutely. I see people who get stressed and anxious because of different reasons, because they are uncomfortable with speaking another language
Yep.
that is not their mother tongue. Sometimes it's like they know the idea, but it's difficult for them to present it. Like you, as you say, it's
Yes.
important for selling the idea. So I understand. It's great that you guys were doing so well. So what do you think was the hardest part of the application for you personally?
Personally, because we are from Iran, and we have our political issues, and we couldn't have access to financial transaction and this type of stuff. It was hard for us to submit our application and to purchase whatever we want and this type of stuff. It was hard for us. It was a headache, but we find solutions for that problem.
Yeah, that's good to hear. There are so many challenges in this journey. I'm pretty sure a lot of other Iranians are also trying to apply through startup programs. So yeah, definitely a lot of people go through the same issues. So how long did it take from applying to getting your PR? Have you received your PR?
No, we didn't have our PR issued, and we are waiting for it to be issued. But we have started our journey. I should say in July of 2022, and we have our letter of support in January 2023, and we have submitted our PR March 2023, and we
Okay.
are waiting for our PR to be issued.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you'll hear on
Hope
the
so. I hope so. Oh, we have our pre-arrival approved, and we are waiting for co-PR to be
That's
issued.
good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's great. So was there a particular skill, document, or a preparation that you did that you felt that it really helped you through the process?
Yeah, lots of things. As a business owner, we should do whatever is needed to get the job done. For example, you should have your go-to-market documents ready, business plan, business model, and this type of stuff. And the good part for us was that we've been doing that business, and out of that, we designed this type of document that was our North Star to pursue. And I should say, as a business owner, one of our duties would be that to do that type of stuff, to orchestrate our team around that, so that people could see what would be the future for the company, what is the vision, what is the mission, and this type of stuff. That's a must for a business owner.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. So, when you landed in Canada, what was your first impression? Was there anything that surprised you?
Right away after landing, no, because I had my I did my homework, and I asked around about the environment, about the cultural aspect, and the other stuff, because I didn't want to be surprised about that. But after a while, I should say that there was some aspects that got me surprised. For example, the way that Canadian market is relied on US market got me surprised about that. And I didn't know that a country would be that relied on another company's economy. So interestingly, we faced with this tariff situation, and it shows that it should be considered rather sooner rather than later, and it got me surprised.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's interesting to hear. So when you first landed in Canada, you said your incubator helped you a lot in terms of like finding your office space or providing you consulting. What was the other first steps that you needed to take in terms of like building a team or hiring or funding? Can you talk about some of
Sure,
those?
sure. Based on our nature of our business, we are in a heavy duty kind of industry. The first steps was to the first step was to find our supply chain, and after that we are learning right now. We are getting familiar with the industry, with the subcontractors, with the our suppliers, and these type of stuff. And after that, we started looking for our potential and opportunities to sell our products. At the end of the day, we should do that. And we try to learn what are the opportunities, what are the nuts and bolts of the market to solve the challenges, existing challenges in a right way.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would assume you also attended these industry related networking
Yep.
events or exhibition. Those are
Yep.
really helpful for people to
Yep.
find connections and network it because everything in Canada is based on networking. You'll
Yeah.
basically everything you do depends on the
Yep.
network that you have, and that's your actual um, value.
Yeah. And there are tons of events out there that people could participate and learn and do the networking jobs. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, that's really important. So,
Yeah.
did you continue? So you said that you created the idea when you were in Iran, and I'm wondering if you are still continuing the same startup you applied with, or has it changed or evolved in any kind of way during this time?
Um, at the main core, no, it haven't changed. But for the surface, it looks a little bit different than over that company that we had in Iran. But at the core node, it's the same. But we should adapt and adjust our operation based on Canadian market, based on supplement, supply chain, the environment, ecosystem, and this type of stuff. But I should say that as a business owner, you should face a lot of changes. There are lots of uncertainty in the environment and the other stuff. So you should be ready and be embracing those kind of opportunities. Yeah,
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 absolutely. You need to be really agile in this
yeah,
situation, especially as
yeah,
a startup. You need to be able to
yep,
handle all these different
yep.
challenges and changes. That's really good. So, what was your first major milestone as a founder in Canada? When did you thought that, okay, it's a good milestone that I achieved?
The day that we sold a $100,000 contract. Yeah,
That's perfect. That's a great milestone. That's good for
yeah,
you
that's
guys.
great. That's great.
And
Yeah.
how has the move to Canada changed your personal and professional life so far?
Um, as an immigrant, we face a lot of changes. We face a lot of. I should say that it's a kind of. I should say that uh, it's a massive change in the one's life. So I'm not no exceptions. So I changed a lot in terms of individual part and business part. I learned a lot about my business. I learned that we've been doing our business in some aspects. We've been doing in the wrong way, so we should update our procedures. We should get contact with people that are experts in their own industries, and we learned a lot about those type of stuff. um, yeah, that's tough for an immigrant.
Yes,
Uh,
for sure.
when you are an immigrant, it is hard, let alone that you want to run a business. It is massive headache. But we we know that it is overwhelming and you should face those challenges.
Yes, absolutely. Every journey has a challenge, as you said. So, what do you think was the toughest one for you after arriving?
Um, I our main problem here is to build the trust. Because we know everything about this industry. We know how to solve the problems. We know how to. We are not that expert, but we know everything about this industry and this type of stuff. But um, uh, we should build the trust that people get familiar with our capabilities, with um, our expertise and this type of stuff, so that they can rely on our help, and so they can reach out to us to get their problem solved. It is a problem for us to build the trust, I should say.
Absolutely, yes. So can you share a mistake or a setback you experienced that you learned from in this process?
Yeah, those early days, we went for signing big contracts, and it was a mistake. We found out that we cannot do that right away after our landing. We should do a minor project, and after that, we can do for the major ones. And it was a mistake. We consumed a lot of time to find out that aspect.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's good to. I mean, I'm sorry that that happened to you, but it's good that
No,
you share that with people who are going to watch this video. It's really something to think about. So
yep.
what do you think surprised you most about the Canadian business culture compared to back home?
Um, Let me. I come from Iran, which there is no IP out there. So I got surprised about the way that uh, these economies are relied on IPs, and it is great and massive. And I should say it is one of the things that we are learning to how to face and how to manage those type of aspects. We are figuring out that we have a lot of IPs and in our company, and we weren't aware of that.
Yeah,
So it is a massive difference between Canadian markets, between Iranian market.
yeah, that's interesting. So, you talked a lot about the different challenges that you had, the different things that you saw, the journey that you had. Did you ever think about quitting, or if you did, what kept you going?
No, no, not a moment. No, no. No, because we know that as I told you, we are intimate friends. We talk a lot about our vision and mission, and we know that it is totally possible. And it takes time, but it is totally possible to do our job. No, it kept me going, and I should say that we will achieve that. We will achieve that.
I
Let's
think
hope so.
you pretty much achieved a big bunch of it so far. So yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That's great. So for those who will be watching this video or are considering applying to a startup visa, what is the thing you think they should know? What is the
Um,
first thing they should know?
yeah. I think one of the most important aspects that they should know is that it's not a program to get permanent residency. It's not a good pathway to immigration. It is just for business, running a business, and out of that you get your PR and the other stuff. If I want to give a suggestion, I would suggest considering it as a business development opportunity, not an immigration opportunity.
For sure, yeah. So if you had to give your top 3 tips for applicants to succeed, what would they be?
First of all, communication. I should say that it is a uh, massive resource that we have. We can communicate with people to learn what are the opportunities, what are the challenges that we would face, and these type of stuff. Canada is great in that aspect. And I should say that there are lots of people that are waiting for your response to um, um, you ask the question and they right away give you the answer. It's great. I should say that communication is a key. As the second one, I should say that we should, as an entrepreneur, we should be patient. Um, uh, it takes time to build a company. It is tough. It is backbreaking and this type of stuff. But we uh, we are doing this type of stuff alongside that we are immigrating. It is hard. It is very, very hard, but it's worth it. I should say it's worth it because after doing that and get it done, you can look at it and you can tell that it is what I'm making. That is great. That is great. And so being patient is the other resource that we can use, the other value that we can add. And at the third place, because we are doing these backbreaking duty, I should say that we should take care of ourselves. So don't forget that we are a human being, and we should learn, we should take care of ourselves. And after that, we would be able to take care of our business, our immigration journey, and this type of stuff. So the main priority would be our mental health, I should say.
Yeah, you mentioned really good points, especially with the long processing time and the uncertainty. A lot of people feel like they want to quit or they don't want to continue, or it sometimes gets hard for people to continue. So the things that you just said, it's really important for them to have that in mind, that they have to have patience, they have to be aware of their mental situation, and remember to take care of themselves for sure. So where is your startup today? Tell us about your team, about your customers, your funding journey, anything that would be beneficial for our audience to hear.
That's perfect. In terms of fundraising, we didn't do that because we knew that we are undervalued. So we stopped the fundraising process to get the value, and after that, we would proceed with that pathway. We have a subsidiary company under our main company that we are doing RV services, recreational vehicles. So it is thriving right now. We are getting a lot of customers out of that, and it is a massive progress in our business journey. We are prospecting with our potential customers, and we are waiting for the some programs to run those programs with the help of the industry providers.
Okay, that's great. Great to hear that about your business. So, since coming to Canada, what is one achievement that you as a team are most proud of? That's something that really stood out for you as a team.
Um, we are designing a program and I'm really passionate about that. We want to provide cancer screening services in northern areas that people don't have access to cancer screening services. We are very passionate about this project, and I should say we were looking for right people to uh, connect dots to get it done, and we achieved a lot of goals here, and we found a lot of valuable people in this journey. It's great. It's great. I love that.
That's an amazing initiative. It's great to hear that you guys are doing that. So what is your main goals for the next 1 or 2 years for your business?
I should say that the program that they've mentioned, I love to get it done in 2 hours, if 2 years. If we can do that, that would be great for us. We are waiting for that moment that we see that people are getting into our vehicle and get screened. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I've gotten the feeling that you guys are really tough people, that you're go-getters, so I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to achieve that goal soon, really soon. So
Hope so.
good luck. Yeah. And finally, so how are you giving back to the community that you're from, the startup community or the immigrant community? What are the things that you're doing to give back to that community?
That's perfect. You know, we had a hard time finding our shop, and it was tough to get our shop. And I know that there are lots of companies that are looking for a shop to do a minor aspects and the other stuff. So we communicate with our communities, with our incubator, that we are open to invite those people to come to our shop and do their minor manufacturing jobs in our shop. This is the way that we want to pay back to our community right now.
That's amazing. That's great that you also trying to give back to the community. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. It's been truly inspiring to hear your stories and how you've started and where you are now, and all the interesting things that you said about the products that you have and the things that you're doing for different businesses in Canada, and how you were also trying to help your community. That's really interesting to hear. And it was nice to hear about your challenges. I'm pretty sure a lot of other startup founders will be thinking about these points that you said, and it's been really valuable. Thank you very much for giving us this time, and we hope to see you soon again for another session.
Thank you for everything. That was great. Whenever someone want to ask a question or something, I'm really to answer those questions. So please don't hesitate.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.